All right, welcome to the San Diego Spotlight. Host Derrick Evans here. This is where we bring the information you simply can't get anywhere else. This is information that's important to you and your family, whether you realize it yet or not. Today, we have a very special focus on what I think we all know is really the future of our society, solar power. Our special guest today is David Field. He's president and CEO of OneRoof Energy, a local solar energy company here in San Diego. David, you are now in the San Diego Spotlight. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you very much, Derrick. It's a real pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you have an extensive background, not just in the energy business, but in running lots of different businesses. So tell us a little bit about, where you're from and how you got here.
Sure. No, I appreciate that, the opportunity overall. So I've been in the energy business for about 20 years. Prior to that, in finance and banking. What actually drew me into the energy business, by and large, was I was actually financing renewable energy back in the mid 1980s.
Wow,
which really dates me now, but at the time, a few of us were some of the largest distributors of ethanol in the United States at the time.
So that was the renewable energy that we were looking at back.
It was in those days. It was called gasohol. But that's exactly what it was.
Was there any talk of solar power back then? I mean, I don't even know if NASA was even talking about it back then.
There was, but it was extremely expensive. It was fairly rare. I think NASA was probably the only one using it on space satellites, in fact, in order to keep them powered and a flight. But solar technology itself really hasn't changed that much over the years. It's become a little more efficient at times. It comes in different packages, so to speak. But overall, the technology is very straightforward, which is actually what makes it so easy to finance, quite frankly, especially for homeowners to use. It's simple. No moving parts.
So you saw it from the finance perspective. What intrigued you about it so much? Was it growth? Was it numbers? What did you like so much about it that made you want to get into the business?
Two things. One, I always thought that it was a real way to change the way in which we as people consume energy. So number one was the social benefits associated with it. Not necessarily social at all costs, but the fact that it was so easy to implement. If implemented appropriately, you could literally reduce carbon emissions. You could reduce all of the negative things that we see with respect to energy and save money. And that's what drew me to it at the end of the day.
So you looked at all the benefits, and then when it penciled out, you said, uh-oh, we got something here.
Exactly. And my background early on had been in developing large utility infrastructure, water infrastructure, power infrastructure, and always realized that, you finance a power plant over 30 years as an example. Therefore, shouldn't you be financing the solar system on your rooftop over multiple years as opposed to paying for it up front? And then when you begin to realize that if you finance that solar system on your rooftop over, call it 20 years, it pencils out very, very handsomely.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing, and a lot of people are finding out. That's David Field. He's president and CEO of OneRoof Energy, oneroofenergy.com. So I have a question for you because, you've got this background in utility and infrastructure and stuff like that. I mean, it's got to make the utility companies lose sleep at night to see how quickly solar is growing. Am I wrong about that?
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. And it's not just here in San Diego. It's across the board. There are thousands of homeowners that turn on solar every day now across America. Last year, there were 82,000 new solar systems. I think this year we're going to see. Well, to be very clear, over the past 5 years, growth has averaged 56% year over year.
56%.
56%. And I know here in San Diego, we're I think the largest solar city in America right now. All the way from City Hall to libraries to wastewater treatment plants to you name it, to homeowners.
And the potential for growth is still dramatic. I mean, I'm personally looking to buy a home in the next 3 to 4 months. And, we're going to get solar, regardless of whether the home that we purchase has solar or not. And I can tell you, in looking at the homes that are for sale, there's still very few of them that have solar. I mean,
absolutely.
Maybe 1 in 30 or 40.
Well, here's some other factoids, so to speak. We've seen less than 1% penetration of solar so far. Less than 1%. If you do 1 million solar rooftops, that'll be less than 2.5% of the addressable market in the United States. Think about it. Think of how huge the market is really the issue here. And at the same time, we're seeing solar costs decrease. Therefore, the addressable market is increasing almost every day. Over the past 3 years, the cost of installed solar on rooftops has dropped about 50%.
That's unbelievable.
So you will see more and more solar on rooftops is the bottom line.
Yeah, well, I think as long as it continues to pencil, that's where people are going to head. I mean, as long as it makes dollars, it makes sense as far as people are concerned out there who are consuming, because, the green stuff is nice, but the greenest thing that people like the most is the kind that folds and goes into their billfold, right?
It's got to make economic sense at the end of the day.